Hello, everyone. In today's lecture, I'm going to explain line by line another deeply meaningful and beautiful poem, A Voice from the Dark by Denise Levertove. But before I start, if you're new here, please don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel for more easy and detailed poetry explanations. Let me tell you the background of it so you will understand it. This poem is a heartfelt call for peace. It begins with a mysterious voice from the dark, representing the world's suffering, people or the troubled conscience of humanity, calling upon poets to use their creativity to imagine peace, instead of constantly imagining war and destruction. The poet explains that peace, like poetry, is something we must create through words, justice, kindness, and a new way of living. The main theme of the poem is that peace is not just the absence of war, but a living, creative force that must be made through language, imagination, and human action. Now let's start it line by line. A voice from the dark called out. The poem begins with a mysterious and urgent image, a voice from the dark. This voice symbolizes those who suffer in silence and the poor, the oppressed, or anyone living in fear and uncertainty. It could also represent humanity's inner voice crying out for change. The dark suggests suffering, war, or ignorance, and the voice coming from it shows a desperate need for hope. Are you getting the point? Simply, it means someone from a place of pain or struggle is asking for help or guidance. This line sets a serious and emotional tone for the poem, showing that what follows is a response to this cry for peace. And then says, the poets must give us imagination of peace to oust the intense familiar, imagination of disaster, peace, not only the absence of war. The voice asks poets to use their imagination not to describe war, destruction, or suffering, but to create new and vivid images of peace. The word oust means to drive out or replace, so the voice is asking for peace to replace our constant, familiar thinking about disaster. The line peace, not only the absence of war, reminds us that peace is not just about stopping violence. It's something much greater, a positive condition of justice, love, and harmony. Simply, it means poets should use their creativity to imagine and describe peace, not just talk about war. Real peace is more than the end of fighting. It's a living state of goodness and balance. And then says, but peace, like a poem, is not there ahead of itself. Here the poet begins to respond. She says that peace is like a poem. It doesn't already exist before we create it. A poem must be written. It doesn't exist until the poet shapes it. Similarly, peace must be made through effort, imagination, and cooperation. Simply, it means peace is something we have to make. It doesn't exist on its own. This line shows that peace is an act of creation, just like writing a poem. Can't be imagined before it is made. Can't be known except in the words of its making. The poet says we cannot truly imagine or understand peace until we begin to create it. Just as a poem becomes real only when written, peace becomes real only when people act and speak it into existence. The phrase, in the words of its making, means that peace is built through communication, justice, and shared understanding. Simply, it means we understand peace only by working for it, by doing and speaking peacefully. This line reminds us that peace grows through our actions and our language. It's something we learn as we create it. Grammar of justice. Syntax of mutual aid. Here the poet uses beautiful metaphors from language. Grammar refers to the rules of language, and syntax refers to how words are arranged. The grammar of justice means that fairness and equality are the rules that make peace possible. The syntax of mutual aid means that helping one another is the way peace is structured or formed. Simply, it means peace is built on justice and kindness. These are its foundation and structure. This shows that peace is not just a dream. It has a real structure made of fairness and support. A feeling towards it, dimly sensing a rhythm, is all we have, until we begin to utter its metaphors, learning them as we speak. In these lines, the poet says that at first, we only have a small, unclear feeling of what peace might be, like faintly sensing a rhythm or tune. We don't fully know peace yet. But as we start to talk about it, to utter its metaphors, we begin to understand and shape it. By speaking of peace, by imagining it and acting on it, we learn what peace truly means. Simply, it means we only feel peace a little. But when we start to talk and act peacefully, we learn more about it. Are you getting the point? And then says, a line of peace might appear if we restructured the sentence our lives are making. Here the poet uses a wonderful comparison. She says that our lives are like sentences. And if we change their structure, that is, change how we live and think, we might create a line of peace. Restructuring means rethinking our habits, values, and priorities. Simply, it means if we change the way we live and think, peace can start to appear in our lives. This shows that peace requires personal and social change. We must rebuild the way we live, revoked its reaffirmation of profit and power, questioned our needs, allowed long pauses. The poet now explains how we can restructure our lives. We must stop constantly reaffirming or supporting systems based on profit and power. We should ask ourselves what we really need, not just what we want, and allow long pauses, meaning we should slow down, reflect, and make space for peace and understanding. Simply, it means stop putting money and power above people. Think about what truly matters and give yourself time to reflect. This shows that peace comes when we move away from greed and domination and live more thoughtfully. A cadence of peace might balance its weight on that different fulcrum. Peace, a presence, an energy field more intense than war. Now the poet imagines what peace would look like if we changed our way of life. She says that peace would find its rhythm, its cadence, and become a powerful, balanced presence in the world. The different fulcrum means a new foundation for society, one based on justice, not greed. She even says that peace could become an energy field more intense than war, meaning that peace could be stronger and more powerful than violence. Simply, it means peace can become a powerful living force if we build our lives on fairness and care instead of greed. It shows that peace is not weak. It can be full of energy and strength when it's real. Might pulse then, stanza by stanza into the world, each act of living, one of its words, each word, a vibration of light, facets of the forming crystal. In this final and beautiful image, the poet says that peace might begin to spread like a heartbeat, pulsing stanza by stanza, slowly through the verses of life. Each action of kindness and justice becomes a word in the poem of peace. Each word shines like light, forming the facets of a crystal, something pure, strong, and beautiful. Simply, it means peace will grow slowly through our actions. Each good act adds a shining piece to the whole. This ending shows that peace is built piece by piece through every small good thing we do. Together, these acts form something bright and lasting. I hope you enjoyed this. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to my channel for more such poetry lectures. Thank you for watching.